Now we're gonna transition to Q&A, questions and answers. So feel free to ask all the
Everyone?
questions. And can I have
Okay.
everyone come up to the stage? While everyone's making their way to the stage, I just want to thank the museum for building this partnership and Global Kids. Over here we have our amazing trainer, Joe. Round of applause. And Hannah and Christina, who have been like basically big sisters for the whole 2 weeks. So round of applause for them too. And last but not least, Barry, who made this partnership, I guess, possible. So want to thank you too, Barry. So. Thank you. Woo. So how this is gonna work is you guys will stand up and a mic will be passed around and you can basically ask a question. And someone up here will answer it for you. So who wants to go first? Okay.
I got it.
This might be, sorry, this might be redundant since I missed the first couple minutes of the presentation, but where did you guys write this story or was it transcribed from another source? And I'm also just wondering where are some of the resources you got information about Haida culture from? Where did you guys look this up?
Anyone want to answer, or should I? Okay. We got, we got this this story was created by Nika, right? Okay, it was created by a person who we've Skyped with recently, who lives in the Haida Nation named Nika. And what your second question was, where did we get all the information from?
Yeah, to connect the object to the story, how did you guys research what they meant their culture?
How did we research for what they meant by with the culture?
So we basically went to the Hall of the Northwest Indians, and we all went around and chose an object that spoke out to us the most. So like the button blanket, the canoe, the chief staff, and all that. So we basically went there, did our research, we drew, we also did a blog. I think it was a blog. We went there to get, I think it's called Swanton, and we basically did like a lot of research and see like what would help this story bring to life and what would make children want to know more about the Haida culture. Anybody else want to add?
Yes, Swanton, a very informative, helpful 400-page packet.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, I wonder if one or a few of you may talk a little bit about how this project had personal significance for you in your daily lives. What most inspired you or interest you?
Well, for me, coming up with this activity, I basically had to like go back into like my life when I used to be a kid to like try and figure out what would appeal to kids, and also think with a mature mind to see what the adults will find appealing and informative to them, so that it could be a good mix of fun for kids but yet informative for the parents.
Okay, so personally, I didn't know where Haida Gwaii was. So when we started the program, I was like, where's Haida Gwaii? I'm like, oh, that's going to be a boring place to learn about. But actually, throughout these 2 weeks, I gained a lot of knowledge about the Haida Nation, and also it helped me because I feel like I can now be more open to other cultures.
And adding to the, adding to the resources that we got our information from, we actually got our information from an anthropology database, and we've had a whole library of books on this topic to our disposal. Any more questions? Sir?
Thanks. I think it was very impressive what you did and how you presented it, so thank you for that. I'm really intrigued by the secret object that the child in the story creates, and I'm wondering, does each child choose their own different secret object, and do they get to reveal it?
I mean, can you rephrase that?
I guess What is the secret object, and do they find out?
Basically, the secret object is what I think it is like whatever the child has done throughout the whole activity guide, throughout the choosing a different path and coloring in the staffs and the hats and whatever else they had to do come together to make their own secret object. That's right.
Question?
Thank you. I really enjoyed the guide and the presentation. Congratulations. Could you please share with us some of the challenges that you have in this project and how you got over them?
All right, a challenge that I've had was when I was trying to like make my activities. It was like I had stuff in mind that I would see fun, but then I had to keep thinking back. Like I keep thinking back, like would I have fun if I was this age? So I'm here, so I have to like dig deeper into myself to realize to figure out how is this gonna appeal to kids? How can I appeal? How can what I have my ideas? How can I change it around to make it appeal to kids and not just me?
A lot like a lot of like researching and it kind of like give me a headache sometimes, you know, but I still, you know, kind of do what I gotta do.
One of the um,
Challenges.
challenges that I've faced was probably finding a stable source that wouldn't have to change around, keeping it fun yet educational. That was very hard for me to do.
A challenge for me was basically like what I said earlier, trying to get one page to be fun for the kids but also informative for the parents.
And I really don't know, so.
A challenge I faced personally was taking in a lot of information and transitioning it so that a younger child can understand it.
I agree with Heaven. Basically, like we attained a lot of information, so we had to compress it and basically cut it down so that a child would understanding will say like, wow.
A challenge I faced was trying to make the information more like readable for a child to understand it, and also like building questions that would be easy for them to answer.
A challenge that I faced was probably like the instructions for the children so that they could read it on their own and stuff. Like, not to make it like really hard words and stuff, because you know how they're like 5 to 10. So basically, just having the instructions really simple. So yeah.
I would say my challenge was feedback. So there were times where I wanted to do my way, but Barry was like, "We don't have this. We can't do this." So I think it was feedback and choosing like the right idea that me and Barry could both agree on. So yeah.
Oh, a challenge for me. I'm sorry. A challenge for me was I used to think that 10 years ago that the work I'd get from my teacher, like that simplified work that would be fun and educational, I used to think that was probably one of the most easiest things you can do to make work for a child. But I found that this actually taught me that it's very, very challenging to find the perfect balance for like making something educational, but at the same time not too educational where the child would be drowned out by it, but at the same time not too fun, so they don't get anything from it. So it's always about having that perfect balance. So they're having fun, they're intrigued, and they're learning about this topic. Any more questions?
Yeah, congratulations to everyone. I'm really curious how any of you see you're going to apply what you learned or loved or didn't like, you know, all above, either in the next 3 months or in life.
Okay, so I was recently in a program called CFR, and we have to do a project in school where we teach back. So basically my project is about girls' rights and like human rights. So I could use Haida Gwaii and their stories and their way of Haida art. So maybe have like a poetry slam and then maybe Skype with Shoshana and build that kind of partnership. And also I can also teach. So if people ask what's the northwest coast, I can say, hey, that's where Haida is. So like it's gonna be, and also I can go into the museum and know where actually to go now. So yeah.
I want to become my career as a game is to become a game designer. So I want to like come to this program to get like help like at least some type of knowledge on digital learning. So I guess this will help me because now I know that there's going to be a lot of challenges with stuff that I have to do and stuff that I need to prosper through to do what I want to do. And like this experience has like shown me that these challenges I'm gonna have to work hard for, and I have to, put in a lot of effort to do it.
Any more questions?
No more questions? You sure?
Don't be afraid. Anicia has a question.
Ooh, okay. Miss Anicia.
Hi. So what are your first and last thoughts about working in the museum?
First thought, this is gonna be fun, easy. Yeah. So my last thought is challenging, informative, well played.
My first thought was, I don't know what I'm getting into. I had no idea what I was going to do here. And my last thought is probably exciting. So, yeah.
My first thought was not being able to know anything because it's my first time in the museum. And my last thought is I learned a lot, so I can tell people about what I learned.
My first thought, this is going to be a piece of cake, easy stuff. Last thought was actually very hard, and you had to put a lot of effort, and it's also very informative and fun.
My first thought was that we're just going to be learning about an app and creating it. And my last thought is that we actually learned a lot, and we seen like a lot of things in the museum that I actually haven't seen before. So that was cool.
My first thought was good. My last thought is it's kind of cold. That's it.
My first thought was when I heard about it, I was like, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I get to like create my own app, and I'll be able to see it and download it and stuff like that and use it whenever I want. But now I realize we basically have focused on one part, and I got a lot of information and knowledge about a culture that I didn't even know about a couple of weeks ago.
My first thought was that it was going to be fun, simple, easy. And my final thought is hard, a lot. A lot.
Well, my first thought it was gonna be easy, and my last thought is like it's not that bad. It's kind of not that bad. So.
My first thought was that it was going to be very interesting learning about what I'm trying to pursue. So I was like, so my first thought is that it's going to be interesting. I really need this. I really want to learn this. And now I'm like, I picked up more than what I bargained for. I learned about a culture that I never even knew existed, and it really will benefit me, I feel, in the future.
Hearing the first impressions a lot, you can probably guess what mine was, that this was going to be just a little experience where you can help make something digital, and it was going to be a breeze of 2 weeks. But actually you find out that you will learn a lot, that this was challenging, this was at the same time a great experience, and this is something I will definitely remember for probably as long as I can live.
Okay, this is gonna be our last question.
If y'all was children and like,
Can you speak up, please?
Put the mic closer to your face.
if y'all was children and like your mom gave you a book about these Hanaikwa, how you Haida people, would y'all read it? No, right?
Oh. Okay. Well, this book is amazing. I don't know about any other book, so I would definitely read this. I would have my Crayolas, so yes, I would read this. So we're actually going to end it here because we want you guys to actually test out our book and give us feedback. So if you don't mind, everyone, you can just raise up and let's go to the hall.